Welcome back. In this lecture, you are going to learn the prompt engineering technique called Critique Me. It will allow you to get feedback from ChatGPT so you can improve pretty much any type of writing that you have. And its applications are pretty much limitless. You could use it to improve your landing page, your writing, your product pages, to review your code, to review your design, to review an email, your presentation, your speech, any form of educational format, for professional development. It could be your business plan, whatever it is that you have in a written format, send it to ChatGPT and allow it to feedback you on it so that you may improve it. Let me show you how this works. Now, let's say that I'm looking for a salary increase and I am sending over an email to my boss. Needless to say, it's a pretty sensitive topic and I want to make sure that the email is as good as it can possibly be to increase my chances of actually getting that salary increase. So I'm gonna write a prompt here that looks like this. Criticize my content pasted below. Convince me why it may or may not be effective and give me constructive feedback on how to improve it. I am a restaurant waiter who has been working diligently for the past 5 years and I believe it's time for a salary increase. Here is my content to critique. And then below I have the subject line for the email and then I have the entire email itself. If you want to read the email, you can pause the lecture and just read it through, but that is not the important part. The important part is going to be the feedback from ChatGPT. So all I'm going to do is send it away. And here we're getting feedback on our email. So first of all, we have the strengths, but even more importantly, we have the areas for improvement. So ChatGPT is recommending us to focus on specific contributions. For example, speaking about additional responsibilities to illustrate specific instances where I have added value, provide measurable examples of my performance, elaborate how the unchanged salary affects me personally, talk about market rates, specific requests, talk about timing, and then down below here, we have a revised example. Now, do note that this is not just copy paste. There's a lot of things in here. If you pause the lecture and read it through, that is just grasped out of thin air. It is just a sample and there's no truth in it. So for example, I've also embraced additional roles such as training over 30 new staff members, which has led to a 20% increase in service efficiency. That is just pulled out of thin air. However, it is a perfect example to showcase the sort of numbers and the sort of impact that I may or may not have had on my role as a waiter at this restaurant. So this is the kind of numbers and the sort of impact that ChatGPT wants me to add as additional value to improve this email. Now, it's very important to remember that if you've set up your custom instructions properly, the reply you get here is going to be vastly increased. You're going to get a much more specific and tailored reply to your situation. So to summarize, the technique is very easy to apply. All you need to do is ask ChatGPT to criticize the content that you're going to paste below. And then you're going to write what you're looking for and at the end write, here's my content to critique. Now let's take another example of what this could be. So let's say that you have something on your website that you want to improve. So we're going to use this website that you are actually going to learn how to build. This is the exact website that we're building later on in this course using ChatGPT. So if you like what you see, you're in for a treat. We're going to move over to blog and then I'm just going to choose a blog article. And you'll find it to no surprise that of course this blog article as well has been crafted with ChatGPT and you're going to learn how to do that. You will find all of this later on in the digital marketing strategy section of this course, but we have so much fun stuff to cover before that. So what I'm going to do is find the content that I want to have critiqued and it's going to be this blog article. I'm going to head back to ChatGPT, of course being a new conversation, and I'm going to prepare this prompt. I'm going to write, critique this blog post and tell me how I can improve it in order to increase engagement. Here's the blog post. And then I'm going to hold shift, enter, go into the website, go all the way down. Let's see, I want to start from here. Grab all of this text up to here, copy it, paste it in, and send it away. And the results are in, and we're getting some very specific and direct feedback. For example, in the introduction hook, the intro needs to have a stronger hook to immediately capture the reader's attention. You could start with a relatable gaming scenario that highlights the problem. Amazing suggestion. Clarify the main value proposition in the introduction. State explicitly how blue light glasses can improve the gaming experience. I didn't do that clearly enough. And then there's even typos that is finding. Correct the typo let's learn to let's learn. And then there's so much more for the headings and structure, the content style, the use of images, depth of information, call to action, SEO and keywords, the conclusions, and then additional strategies. So this is no joke. We are getting direct feedback on our content from the most intelligent source of artificial intelligence in the world. Whenever you want to improve anything, make sure that you use ChatGPT and use this prompt technique. And once again, don't forget to set set your custom instructions. We did it early on in this section in the course. With them, all of the feedback that you're getting is going to be so much more tailored towards you, and the content can get an even higher improvement from just getting the blank instructions themselves. Now, you can even get feedback from ChatGPT where you write a prompt and you ask ChatGPT to feedback you on that prompt itself. And this is amazing because we're in this section learning prompt engineering. So this is going to take it to the next level. But not only that, you can ask ChatGPT to feedback you on the prompt you've written and then apply that feedback as well and see the results. Let me show you what I mean. Here's a prompt I've written. Help me understand how CrossFit is different from other types of workouts and why it may or may not be better than going to the gym and using machines. I want you to critique this prompt and then apply that criticism to create a new and improved one. Just like before, in order to activate the criticism, you just ask ChatGPT to critique whatever it is that you've written, and then we can also use the technique to apply that criticism and create a new and improved one. Let's send it away and I'll show you how amazing this is. And the results are in, and first of all, the critique is absolutely spot on. You can pause this lecture and read it through. But for example, just this one, the vagueness of using machines. Now, using machines could refer to cardiovascular workouts or treadmills, or it could be strength training, or it could really mean anything. So it's not very specific. The actual feedback is spot on, but even more so, the improved prompt applying this criticism and creating a new prompt in itself looks so much better. It says, could you provide a comparative analysis of CrossFit and traditional gym workouts, focusing specifically on their approaches to strength and conditioning? Please discuss how each can cater to goals such as muscle building, endurance, and weight loss. Additionally, examine the potential risks and accessibility of each workout methodology for individuals at different fitness levels, referencing any relevant research or expert opinions to support your point. This is a thorough prompt. This is how we take our prompt engineering to the next level whenever we're looking for even more specific results. So to summarize this lecture, the Critique Me technique is an amazing technique to get any form of feedback on whatever it is that you have written from ChatGPT in order to improve it. It could be email, it could be content, it could be your prompts, whatever it is, ask ChatGPT to critique it, and then you have the ability to learn. But also ask ChatGPT to apply its own criticism, and you will have an evolution of whatever it is that you have written. Amazing. We're going to take this even a step further in the next lecture. I'll see you there.